Hello everyone, it's chapter 4 of Mr. Gum and the Secret Hideout. It's called Investigations and Birdseed, and we meet two more crazy characters, Old Granny and Crazy Barry Fungus. Chapter 4, Investigations and Birdseed. Old Granny sat out on the high street, creaking back and forth in her ancient rocking chair from before the war. Floom, buff. Terrible days, she cried as a cloud plummeted from the sky and landed on her hat. The air had become so hot and sticky and so thick that Old Granny's raspy lungs could hardly breathe it down. But in all her life, she'd never missed a single day of sitting outside in her chair. "And I'm not going to let a bit of weather stop me now," said she. Slurp! And here is Old Granny slurping down a straw that goes all the way over the next page. Old Granny took a thoughtful suck at a 6-mile-long drinking straw that led directly to her secret sherry supply, and she shook her head so hard that you could hear the sherry swishing around inside her skull. "Terrible days, terrible days," she cried. And then, just 'cause she liked the sound of it, "Terrible days indeed." Old Granny's slightly drunken words followed Polly and Friday as our two heroes walked along the high street, kicking up clouds of dust from the cracked, dried pavement. "Oh, right, Mr. Friday," said Polly, wiping a single bead of sweat from her brow and a whole necklace of sweat from her neck. "We gots to find out who's doing all them pollutions. It is time for the Department of Clouds and Yogurts to get to work." "Are you the one who has been making all the pollution?" they asked a little girl called Peter. "No," she said. "I'm just playing with my doll." "Are you the one who's making all the pollution?" they asked David Casserole, the town mayor. No, he said. "I'm just playing with my doll." "Are you the one who's doing all the pollution?" they asked William Shakespeare. "Probably not," he said. "You see, I've been dead for about 500 years. Now, leave me alone. I'm trying to write Hamlet 2, Yorick's Revenge." "Oh, frustrators!" exclaimed Polly at the end of a long morning's work. "We've done millions of investigations and no one knows nothing. And it's all boiling hot and sticky and sweaty and itchy, and I have had enough." "Let's go back to the office," suggested Friday. But just then they came upon a forlorn-looking fellow sitting in a silver bird cage at the side of the road. It was Crazy Barry Fungus. "Tweet, tweet, tweet," he said hopefully. "Tweet, tweet." Now, Crazy Barry Fungus suffered from a rare medical condition called extreme stupidity. Or, in other words, he thought he was a chaffinch, a kind of bird. Most people just passed him by as if he wasn't there. But Polly was far too kind-hearted for that. "Oh, here you goes, little birdie," she said, fishing a handful of bird seed from her skirt pocket. "Tweet, tweet," said Crazy Barry, licking it gratefully from her palm. It was the kindest thing anyone had done for him in years. "I don't expect he can help us," said Friday. "He's only a chaffinch. He knows nothing of the danger our town is in." But as crazy Barry Fungus watched his visitors go, a gleam of light came into his eyes. "Tweet, tweet," he said thoughtfully. "Tweet, tweet, 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 tweet." Back at the office, Polly and Friday coloured in all the places they'd visited on the map. It was fun. Polly did her bits in pink, and Friday did his bits in bunch paraka, which was a new colour he had invented that very morning. "Well, Mr. Polly," said Friday, "we covered quite a lot of the town today, but there are still a few places left to investigate. Now, how about a nice cup of tea?" So Polly put the kettle on. Polly put the kettle on. Polly put the kettle on. "Are you playing with the photocopier again, Mr. Friday?" said Polly. "No, sorry," said Friday. "Hey, let's have a rubber band fight." But just then the office door flew open, and there stood crazy Barry Fungus, flapping away in his birdcage, his face full of excitement and his mouth full of birdseed. "Tweet, tweet," he cried as he struggled through the doorway. "Tweet, tweet." "I think he wants to tell us something," said Polly. "Come in." "Polly, please, call him Mr. Crazy." "Come in, Mr. Crazy, come in." Very carefully, crazy Barry Fungus bent his head and began spitting out a message on the floor. He spelt it out in birdseed. "I'm sorry I have to spell out messages in birdseed," he spelt, "but I cannot talk, as I am only a chaffinch. But you were kind to me earlier, so very kind, and now I want to help you in return, for I see..." Then he ran out of birdseed, and he had to lick it all up off the floor and start spitting it out again to carry on with his message. "I see a lot of strange things on my travels," wrote Barry Fungus, "and lately I have seen something very peculiar, something very, very..." And then he ran out of birdseed again, and he had to lick it all up off the floor again. "This is really, really disgusting," said Friday. But Polly hushed him. "Where are your manners now, Frides?" "Something very peculiar indeed," spat Barry Fungus. "I have seen mysterious comings and goings down by the river. Yes, down by the river when it's late and only us chaffinches are awake." "Comings and goings down by the river?" said Polly. "But what's that got to do with the pollution?" Crazy Barry Fungus ran out of birdseed, and our heroes looked away as he licked it all up again. "I do not know," he spat. "Maybe something, maybe nothing at all. Maybe I am just a silly old feather-brained chaffinch who doesn't know what he's on about. But lick, 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 spit, spit, spit. I think you should go down to the river tonight and investigate. That is all. Good day to you both. And gulp it down, chaffinch. Boy, you gotta gulp it down." He swallowed all the birdseed in a single almighty gulp. "Oh, thank you, Barry," said Polly, as the helpful creature hopped out of the office. "No, you're welcome, don't mention it," replied crazy Barry Fungus in a deep, booming and perfectly normal voice. "Oh, I mean, tweet, tweet, tweet. I can't talk, I'm only tweeting, I'm a chaffinch." And off he hopped in his silver cage, chirping all the way. "Ah, What a lunatic, marvelled Friday, who was busy measuring the desk to see if it had secretly shrunk since they had last seen it. Friday had a theory that desks were always trying to shrink in order to fool people. Well, lunatic or not, he's the only one that has gone down, helped us so far, said Polly. I says we goes down to the river tonight to see what is what. Okay, and chapter 5 is called Down by the Riverside. See you soon, everyone. Bye.